Variety is the spice of our station.
Picture perfect, you don't need no filter. Yeah, these are my only intentions.
Relax Radio.
Welcome back to the show. This is Relax Radio with me, Nick, keeping you guys company all the way until 6 p.m. That's right. We're talking about all things that is going on right now in the UK. And with that matters, though, there is a lot of matters going on. And we're going to be talking about all these things that is in relationship to that. Yes, that's right. We're going to be talking about all the things, associated with right now what's going on in the UK. Yeah, with that, right, like I said, we're going to be talking about how the issues of all the adults right now in UK and in England rather can book their vaccinations. That's right. These are the further steps that the government is doing to make sure that they get to that point. And with that relationship, right now the situation, like I said, the way it is going there, we can see a lot more people getting vaccinated over the coming couple of more weeks. Yeah, that's right. Because, in case you guys didn't know, right now the situation is that the lockdown has been delayed for another 4 weeks. So if you are looking to get vaccinated, well, now is the best time. Make sure you go ahead, make sure you go and get yourself booked and get yourself jabbed as well, because this is very important right now. And hey, if you want to know more about that, hit me up on those numbers, 078-524-73473. That's right, those are the magical numbers. And like I said, this is Real Talk with me, Nick. We're going to keep you company all the way until 6 p.m. And looking at other stuff as well, there's also a lot of other people as well who are right now the focus and priority to get vaccinated. And we're going to be talking also right now, though, the topic at hand that we're going to be talking about is how the Northern Ireland issue, how the chilled meat ban will not hit a lot of these Tesco supplies. And that's something that's encouraging, because this is, we were wondering about this particular situation on that matter. And we were discussing about this particular thing about, what will happen in the future if this happens? Well, Tesco has said that it will be able to service a lot of the supermarkets. They said it will be able to service its businesses in Northern Ireland if meat and if the chilled meat products from Great Britain are banned for sale. So with that said, you're talking about all these things, and the chief executive, Ken Murphy, went on to say that the supermarkets had already been able to switch to local sources for challenging products. So right now, the challenging products in that case is mince and sausages. So with that, fresh sausages and other chilled meats from Great Britain are to be banned under the terms of the NI protocol in July. So like I said, the grace period is up. So if you're looking to get your meat, well, now is the best time to do it before everything goes away. And the situation is the UK has asked for the ban to be postponed until October, though. They asked for this until October, and they requested for this from the EU, but the EU is not complying with this. So right now, the EU is considering the request. They've not really gone 100% with it and said, okay, this is how we're going to do it. So Mr. Murphy went on to say, we'll be able to supply the vast majority of what we used to supply today at competitive prices. And looking at all of these things, the things that they want to do, understanding that the two major other supermarkets are now sourcing almost all of their sausages locally for sale in Northern Ireland. So Mr. Murphy said that even if the UK and the EU fail to find a solution, well, Tesco would still be able to service its business in Northern Ireland. So even if the situation is not the greatest right now, and it doesn't seem like the other companies can service people when it comes to sausages, providing sausages and mince, well, don't worry, because Tesco has found a way. And they went on to say, where we have had challenges in terms of bringing products into the north, we have been able to switch to local supply, is what Mr. Murphy is saying. And he said, product availability at Tesco with 50 stores in Northern Ireland was currently really good. So they are, they're able to keep up with the store and the requests and the need in the market right now, and the rising need in the market. And with that said, in case you guys are wondering, what's this whole meat conversation about? Why is he talking about meat? Am I hungry? Well, I kind of am a little bit hungry. I mean, a little bit hungry for the barbecue. It is the weekend. That's right. Friday. Today. It is a Friday, and we got the weekend coming up. And a lot of people will be looking forward to sausages and maybe a barbecue, at least at home. But you got to remember right now, with the situation going on, the Northern Ireland Protocol is basically states that we can't get any more of these meat products because of the whole UK Brexit situation. So this whole Northern Ireland Protocol is part of the Brexit deal, which keeps Northern Ireland in the EU single market for goods. So right now, Northern Ireland needs to be in the EU market. So this is just one of the reasons that they've agreed upon when signing the Brexit deals. So right now, the EU does not generally permit the import of chilled meat products like mince and sausages from non-member states. And guess who's not a member right now? That's right, you got it right. That is the UK. So the UK right now is not currently a member of the whole European Union. So this is one of the reasons why we can't export any of our products to them. So they're going to be faced with a lot of these issues. So since January, producers in Great Britain have not been able to sell these products in the EU. However, in December 2020, the EU agreed to a 6-month grace period to allow a lot of these supermarkets in Northern Ireland to reorientate, or rather reorganize, and make sure that they, are able to supply a lot of their products as well to the supply chains away from Britain. Well, they had to cope up with this and they had to adapt with the situation. And the UK has asked the EU to extend a grace period for chilled meats until the end of September. So the discussion was, until September, at least give us the time until September before we can get and sort this situation out. But in recent weeks, the issue had been growing up because right now, looking at the tension between the UK and the EU, within the UK refusing, to rule out a unilateral extension of the grace period. So right now, what the UK is doing is they are, in my opinion, when looking at it from this point of view, it looks like they are treading in very dangerous waters, because we have to understand right now the EU has set on the protocol and X, Y, and Z. This is not what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to abide by this contract, but the UK has decided to extend grace periods unilaterally without the permission of the EU, and that doesn't stand by the EU very well. And they said that they could, and they've warned the UK, the government, and they have said, that they will possibly file legal action against this, which could, ultimately lead into the introductions of a lot of these tariffs on British goods. So that's something that we want to avoid, as much as problem. And looking at all this situation right now, they are trying to sort it out, but it doesn't look like it's going to be sorted out anytime soon, because look, the issue with this is bigger than we think. Right now, it's not about the products when it comes to meat and sausages, but rather it comes to the other material as well that is coming in from the EU or going out from the UK to the EU. So what is going to happen is we can't export our things because we will be maybe in the near future, it's not avoidable. It's inevitable that with the situation, if UK makes another unilateral decision, well, what's going to happen is the EU will impose tariffs. They will file a litigation case, and it's going to end up in a massive catastrophe. And then we're going to struggle even more. So this is just showing, one of the reasons why the UK right now is forming their alliances with a lot of these countries. For example, Australia, the deal with Australia, and they're hoping that deal works out well, so we can open up avenues to the Indo-Pacific region as well, and get more people on board with this. So with that being said, though, it shows that this is just not got to do with the meats, but rather it is a whole situation. So hopefully, they can find a way to figure this out, figure a way to sort this whole situation out. But until then, we don't really know what is going to be in store for us. And yeah, taking a look at other things, though, the UK COVID infection rises as the Delta variant dominates. Yeah, that's right. Right now, if you're looking at around the UK, especially, what is dominating the cases, the amount of cases of COVID cases in the country? Well, right now, formerly it was the Kent variant, but right now it is the Delta variant, which is also known as the Indian variant. So UK's corona infections have slightly increased in the past week. So there's been an estimated 119,000 people, up from 110,000, that is now positive for the virus. So the people who've had the virus, well, right now the cases are rising. And it still baffles me. There are places like how you had the Euro 2020 in Scotland, and where they say, okay, the situation is fine, we don't have to check people X, Y, and Z. But then you can see there are cases still rising even now in the United Kingdom. So this is just crazy. And the Office for National Statistics, okay, so the ONS, figures up to, between the months of 12th of June, suggests at least 1 in every 540 people is infected. So that is 1 in every 500 plus people are infected. So that just shows, the number of people, the quantity of people, and the way this virus is transmitting across to a lot of these other people as well. And the more infectious Delta variant accounts for almost all of the cases right now in the UK. And that is what the Public Health of England is saying. All of the cases in the UK is right now being dominated by the Delta variant. And this variant is not the greatest of, of viruses right now. It is more transmissible, and there is a slight chance, hopefully right now, the situation is that it's not as ill-causing. It's not causing a lot of severe illness, but it still is very transmissible, and people still get the symptoms. So right now, this is the most predominant variant in our country. And there is some regional variation, though, in infection rates, if you look at it. However, and some good news on this vaccine efficacy. So Northwest England had the highest proportion of people of any region in England likely to test positive for coronavirus in the week to the 12th of June. That was around 1 in 180. Yeah, that's right. Eastern England had the lowest estimate, around 1 in 2,480. So it shows the numbers, adds up. And the term right now, looking at the trend, especially looking at all the statistics, the trend is not really certain in Northern Ireland and in Scotland, says the ONS, while in Wales, the latest estimate is 1 in 1,500 people infected, down from 1 in 1,300 in the previous week. And although the First Minister, Mark Drayford, says a third wave of COVID is underway linked to the Delta variant. And Mark Drayford went on to say all these things. I mean, if you look at it, the situation is going to be like that, because right now, the third wave, which is being caused by the variant. You can see the slight rise in the variant right now. There's a lot of these cases. You hear more and more about these cases. Well, it just shows, that there is possibility that we will undergo a third wave. And for that to happen, we have to avoid and make sure that, all of the progress that we've made right now, all of the progress that all of us have made right now does not go for naught. So to do that, well, we'll have to make sure that we keep practicing all of this safety and, all the precautionary steps that we need to do. And also not forget, that even if there is situations like this, we have to understand that, the situation requires this. And looking at all of these things, hopefully, people will be more understanding, and they understand, okay, we have to follow precautions and get more and more people vaccinated as fast as possible. Because right now it does show, the statistics show that people who do get vaccinated, well, if you have one vaccine, it's still not good enough. Although it gives you some sort of protection, it's still not good enough to completely stop the virus from infecting you. So, hopefully people should go and start booking their second doses of the vaccine. This is what the government is encouraging, and they have been talking about this a lot lately. And looking at all of these things, according to the data from the PHE, a single dose of vaccine reduces a person's chances of coronavirus and needing hospitalization by about at least 75%, even with the Delta variant circulating in the UK. So, and amongst, the people who have received the recommended 2 doses, the chances of catching and being hospitalized by the coronavirus was reduced by more than 90%. So from 75%, if you take 1 dose of the vaccine, any of these vaccines, either the Pfizer vaccine or the AstraZeneca vaccine, well, you still you get the 75% chance of not getting hospitalized or catching the disease at all. And if you get 2 of the doses, though, you're 90% even more safer. I mean, is it that I'd like to think that is a win. If you do get both doses of the vaccine, that is a smart decision, a smart choice, in my opinion. And of all the 800 plus people infected with the Delta variant who ended up in hospitals in England, 527 people, which accounts for at least 65%, were unvaccinated. That's right. And 135 people, which is accounting for at least 17% of the cases, was more than 21 days rather after their first dose of the vaccine. So these are the people who recently got their first dose of the vaccine, and 84% of this was more than 14 days after their second dose. So it shows, that it's just 10%. Like if you compare most of the people who got the virus, well, they were not vaccinated. So as of 14th of July, there have been 73 deaths in England of people who were confirmed as the Delta variant and who died within 28 days of a positive test. And of these, well, 34 of them who died were unvaccinated. So that makes about 47% of the people who have passed away. So right now, 10% was for more than 14% rather, which is 10 deaths were more than 21 days away after their first dose of the vaccine, and 26 deaths, which amounts to 36%, were more than 14 days after their second dose. So right now it shows, the figures, the numbers don't lie. If you can see the people who do pass away and who do struggle from all of these things, it is because they had their second dose, and they are avoiding the whole virus, and that's why they're not getting infected. It shows that they built up some kind of resistance. They have some kind of armor to fight and combat this particular strain of the virus. And we're gonna be talking about all this and a whole lot more, as we go along in the show. But hey, before that, we're gonna be taking a real quick break, and we will be right back after this. And taking a look at your time right now, it is 3:32. Good afternoon.
And it gives them something to look at, and it makes them laugh. It makes them laugh. So that's why I do it.
Oh, and it could be a really good pickup line as well. Ladies who ask, "Hey, excuse me, so why are you wearing something so colorful?" I mean, hey, you can always have something up on your sleeve. I mean, got me thinking. You want to stand out. Why do you want to stand out though so much, especially with these kind of shirts when you're riding? There must be a purpose behind it, right?
Well, when you say a purpose, Nick, what I do, I wear the shirts, mainly one because they're nice and bright, so they make me visible, especially if I'm riding on the road.
Okay. That's very important, right? Because you want cars,
very important. And also, like, people see me in like calves, and perhaps I shouldn't be saying this on here, I suppose, but in the bar afterwards.
All right.
And it gives them something to look at, and it makes them laugh. It makes them laugh. So that's why I do it.
Oh, and it could be a really good pickup line as well. Ladies who ask, "Hey, excuse me, so why are you wearing something so colorful?" I mean, hey, you can always have something up on your sleeve. I mean, you look like a guy who would do.
You know me too well. You know me too well, Nick.
Radio at its best. Relax Radio.
Welcome back to the show. This is Relax Radio with me, Nick, giving you guys company all the way until 6 p.m. That's right. We're talking about all things that is going on right now in the UK. And we're discussing about all the things that is happening. And one of this is how, the COVID cases have been on the slight rise right now in the UK. And we're talking about all the things, of how your chances are increased even more when you get yourself both jabs of the vaccine. So yeah, if you're wondering who this is, I'm Nick, keeping you guys company all the way until 6 p.m. Hey, hit me up on with those questions, or if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is simple 07852 473 473. That's right. You can always feel free to hit me up and call me. And also, don't forget, you can download the app from the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store to carry us all day, every day. And yeah, with that being said, diving back into the situation, like I said, right now the infection cases have been rising, and most of these infections were in younger adults. Yeah, these were the main carriers right now. And the ONS data, the ONS has been showing us data, and they've been showing the recent statistics, and they showed that this also gives a range of the people for infected people in England based on household testing. So ratings are low right now and stable among adults over the age of 35, but are rising among younger adults and older teens. So people who are above the certain age of 35, well, most of these are the high priority people who've gotten already both doses of the vaccine. Well, the number of cases is on the rise, especially with the people in the younger adults and older teens category. So yeah, with that being said, looking at all these things right now, all adults in the UK are finally able to book their vaccines. That's right. So if you are looking to get your vaccine, well, you can make sure you can actually go and book it on their NHS site. And yeah, these things right now, the people between the ages of 18 and over in England are being invited to book their first COVID-19 jab in what the NHS has described as a watershed moment, because it is really, you can see the effort and the people stepping forward and making sure that they get vaccinated. I mean, the youth is doing their part right here. And about 1.5 million texts are due to be sent to people aged between the age of 18 to 20. And yeah, that's happening today. They're going to be sending off a lot of messages and SMSs for a lot of these people who are booking their vaccines. And Prime Minister Boris Johnson said the speed of the program was one of our country's greatest collective achievements, because you have to understand there is a certain kind of unity with that particular matter. There is certain kind of unity when people come, when we're stuck with a disaster, well, everyone comes forward and tries to stick together, because that's what we have to do. That's the best thing we can do. I mean, yes, in the context, when you look at it, yes, you don't go and try to stick together right now. That's not the best thing to do. But what I'm trying to say is, we are collectively doing this as a whole group, as a community, as a country. We are doing what we need to do. We are being responsible. And it's great to see that the youth is stepping up to this. And the studies, it comes as a study. There's been a recent study recently that suggests the epidemic is growing across the nation, while much of the rise being driven by young people. So on Thursday, a further 11,007 cases of the COVID-19 were reported, the highest daily rise since the 19th of February, while a further 19 deaths were also recorded. So the government has set a new target to have offered a first dose to all adults by 19th of July and a second dose to 2/3 of the over 40s. So the Prime Minister said offering all adults a jab less than 200 days after the program has launched is one of our country's greatest collective achievements, saving over 14,000 lives so far. 14,000. I mean, reveling that number, that is a lot of lives that we are saving, and we're making sure that we keep doing that, and we make sure that we know our priorities. We make sure that we are prioritized. And yeah, looking at all these things, Boris Johnson went on to say that he went on to say all these things, and he was talking about how many lives that we've saved. And he added that reaching the next step of the program was, to see vaccines accelerate in their race with the virus, and called on people to finish the job and by coming forward to get their jab. So he did encourage a lot of these youth as well. He's like, hey, okay, listen, what we got to do, we got to finish this job. We got to make sure that we end this. And the best way to do it, well, is to get the vaccines and to get vaccinated. That's what we need to do so far. And the NHS England's chief executive, Sir Simon Stevens, actually went on to say that the health service was delivering the final push to protect the country. And yeah, that's just great news to see, that we are moving forward, especially the youth. So this is, he went on to say that this is a truly watershed moment. Whoever you are, wherever you live, if you are aged between 18 or older and you are yet to book your COVID jab, today should be the day you make that happen. Because look, it is a very monumental day. You can see a lot of the youth coming forward, making sure that they have their appointments and getting themselves jabbed. have. So this is very important because what we're trying to do, we're trying to fight this virus. To fight that, the best way is to get vaccinated. So they went on to say, the NHS chief executive, he went on to say that only months after delivering the world's first jab, hard-working NHS staffs have only given more than 60 million vaccines in England alone, saving thousands of lives and giving the entire country for a brighter future, a bigger hope. So, I mean, this is something that, like I said, it's a very, it does, move your heart. It does move your heart when you think about, what the people are doing, especially the youth rising up for all of this and making sure that they get vaccinated. Because collectively, like I said, collectively, we are better, we are stronger, and we have to make sure that we do this together. So as of Wednesday, more than 4 in 5 adults have received a first dose of the vaccine, while 58.2%, or in other words, 30.6 million people are now completely vaccinated. So that's great. 30.6 million people are fully vaccinated. I mean, how great of a news is that to see, we are getting closer to the herd immunity. This is just another stepping stone. And it just shows that we're going to make it. We're definitely going to make it. And we're going to break the link between the number of cases rising and the people getting the virus. So hopefully this is something that will happen. And right now, though, there has been a decision to vaccinate all of the 12 to 17-year-old children is unlikely to be recommended by the UK vaccines experts eminently. So right now, they're saying, okay, people below the age of 18, well, they can't get their vaccines as of yet because, look, end of the day, the surplus that we have a lot of surplus of these vaccines. The plan is to make sure that we get these vaccines and we transport it across to other countries that are in apparent need. So the Joint Committee on Vaccination and Immunization is expected to make a statement on the matters in the coming days. So speaking at the NHS COVID conference on Thursday, England's chief medical professor Chris Whitty said there was currently a further surge of coronavirus, with the height of it still uncertain. So we're not quite sure about the height of this virus. And he said he expected a further winter surge. And he said he thought new variants may well lead to booster jabs or revaccination being required over the next 2 to 3 years. And yeah, looking at all the cases right now, the case rates have risen in all regions of England. And according to the public health, the recent survey report, with Northwest seeing the highest rate and the East is seeing the lowest. So it just shows, that most of the people who did get both of the doses of the vaccine, well, you did a good job because, you are making it one step closer for us to beat this virus. Yeah, that's right. So I mean, hey, you can always pat yourself in the back for doing a good job. But hey, if you have anything you want to say, you want to talk about, you can always feel free to hit me up on those numbers and let me know if you got your vaccine and which vaccine you've gotten. Well, you can always hit me up. Let me know. 07852473473. That's right. We're going to be talking about all things going on right now in the UK. So make sure you guys keep it locked. And with that, taking a look at your time right now, it is 3:45. Good afternoon.
Again. But now, if you say to a child, if I went up to a child and said, you've had one to forget, God, there'd be an inquest. Why did you reject my son? Oh, I haven't rejected your son.
I want to talk about, how the generation gap, how much has changed, especially when you check the youth nowadays in comparison, to people back in the day.
I'd say when I was younger, it was more disciplined. Not now.
In comparison to now.
Not at all. Not now. The way things are nowadays, the younger generation, you seem that they can't accept the word no. If that makes sense. They can't
accept rejection, essentially, is all you're trying to say.
Yeah, they can't accept the word no. So if you, how did I do? Well, you didn't do very well. And they get upset. And when I was a youngster, my father used to say to me, because I used to be sport mad when I was very young, well, I still am sport mad, but like participating in different sports. And if I had a bad game, for example, he'd say to me, you had one to forget.
That's it. Your dad sounds like a smart guy. I mean, yeah, that's the real fact of the matter, yeah.
He'd say to me, you had one to forget. Get over it. And that was it. So I dust myself down and do it again. But now, if you say to a child, if I went up to a child and said, you've had one to forget, God, there'd be an inquest. why did you reject my son? Oh, I haven't rejected your son. I've just, or daughter. I've just told them that they need to buck their ideas up.
That's the truth right there. I mean, if you think about it, if you check the generations, like right now in the US as well, I've seen a lot of these things as well in the UK. You know, you get medals for participation. But what's the point? What are you trying to? Yeah, what's the point? Either you win or you lose. People are so afraid to put that whole notion of losing. You know, when it comes to right now, the generation gap is just crazy. You know how much. A lot has changed. Social media has taken control of our lives, and we don't even realize it anymore. We're crippled because of it.
That's absolutely right, Nick. Because, as you said, you know, nowadays it seems that you get rewarded for failure. You know, for the life of me, Nick, I can't get my head around that. Perhaps I'm just getting old and morbid. I don't know. I just can't get my head around how you could be rewarded for failure.